Looking for something amazing to do today? Come on down to Disney World and ride the new and improved 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea submarine voyage. The adventure begins as you dive deep into the sea in your yellow submarine. You will enter an environment of extreme temperatures and pressures, toxic minerals, and a lack of sunlight. It is a unique ecosystem of deep-sea hydrothermal vents. These hydrothermal vents are produced by underwater volcanoes at spreading ridges and convergent plate boundaries. These vents recirculate water that seeps down into the faults in the rock. The rock is very rich in minerals and chemicals when it emerges from the vent. The toxic water would be lethal for most animals, so it is very surprising that hundreds of species exist here. Look over there. It's a deep-sea Pompeii worm, or scientifically known as Alvinella pompeiana. This creature can withstand temperatures that are high enough to boil water. They live near the vent chimneys, often called black smokers. Like most of the animals that live in the deep depths, they can eat bacteria in the water. Food is scarce, meaning they can eat whatever they can find. These worms can reach up to 5 inches in length and are a pale gray and red color. How about those hydrothermal vent eel pout fish over there? Very little is known about these fish. They have bodies that are specialized to live in harsh communities like the hydrothermal vents. They mainly feed off of crustaceans on the seafloor. You may even see some gallopede crabs, also known as squat lobsters, like these. These crabs live throughout the ocean, but the species population increases dramatically around the hydrothermal vents because they have an abundant amount of bacteria and dead animals to feed on. Although it seems like these crabs have 4 pairs of legs, they actually have a 5th pair like a lobster. Did you know that giant tube worms like those exist way down here? These organisms lack a mouth, eyes, and a digestive system. They depend on bacteria inside them for food. The mutually beneficial relationship between two organisms is known as symbiosis. The tube worms' bright red color comes from a large amounts of hemoglobin in their systems. The hemoglobin provides nutrients to the bacteria that's inside them. Giant tube worms are threatened by natural forces such as underwater volcanic eruptions and vent flow stopping. Zorkid fish are very common to see around hydrothermal vents. These fish can grow around 2 feet long. Zorkid fish feed on just about everything from giant tube worms to shrimp. These fish are pretty slow moving considering how much they eat. You can usually find them floating around the tube worms and mussels. What do you think that crazy organism could be? It's a hydrothermal vent octopus. This specific type of octopus has adapted to living in the deep sea. For example, it is lacking an ink sac. This octopus can grow over 200 millimeters long. Their main food source is amphipods. Hydrothermal vent octopus usually live around colonies of giant tube worms. They don't seem to be threatened by other organisms around them. That right there is a hydrothermal vent scaleworm. The scaleworm is covered with 12 pairs of scales that each have a distinctive C-shaped pattern on them. Its physical appearance helps it camouflage into the rocks to hide from predators. Scaleworms make up around 1/10 of the species living around the hydrothermal vents. Although they are only about the size of your thumb, scaleworms are great hunters of anything from bacteria to shrimp. I think you get the idea of what the ride is all about. You get to ride in an awesome submarine and see many different organisms in the deep sea, like Pompeii worms, ellpout fish, gallopede crabs, giant tube worms, zorkid fish, octopus, and scaleworm. Not only is this ride fun, it's an experience of a lifetime. So what are you waiting for? Log on to DisneyWorld.com or call 1-800-DISNEY to get your tickets today. We hope to see you soon.